Sub-Governor Tshepo speaking there a bit earlier on. Well, let's unpack everything you've heard with SABC News Economics Editor Tshepo Mongoai, who is in studio with us. Tshepo, good evening. So it's a hold at 7%. I was saying to you off air, and I don't mind repeating this, that it feels like, somehow it feels like postponing a pain that is almost inevitable, that it's coming.
No, absolutely. At some point, the pain will come, and it's more likely that during the next MPC. The governor spoke about the issue concerns with economic growth. He did indicated that there's some improvement when it comes to inflation compared to the previous MPC. So there are some tentative signs. For example, yesterday we saw with the food inflation, a number of items within that basket are in deflation. So there is some positivity, but uncertainty is a major concern for now. We don't know what's going to happen. In fact, a number of analysts and economists were not happy with this decision because, you know, it's never a good thing being an economist and you get it wrong.
Yes, yes. So this decision was not widely expected, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Going in, it was expected that there would be a hike.
There was expected. In fact, what happened is you've also seen with the rand just weakening immediately after that, because there's a lot of repricing that happens in the market, because usually the market tends to look ahead and pencil in whatever decision that would come out. So this was a bit of a surprise in the market. So that's why you saw the rand currently at 16 rand 70 to the dollar. And unfortunately, we've also seen the international oil prices also surging to past $100. So there are some concerns that what is likely to happen. I mean, the governor also mentioned, as usual, the quarterly projection model, that it points to rates remaining unchanged for the remainder of the year. You could actually get a sense that there was a complete move from the previous MPC to what it is today, because the governor always says the reason why, as the bank, we did much better when it comes to dealing with inflation in the previous years was because we were first. We always act first. There's an expression that they don't wait to see the eye of the white of the eye of inflation. They always act much faster, so that you know, by the time inflation happens, they're already ahead of the ball. But his reasons today seems to have slightly moved away from that, and of course the governor always has some very good reasons for whatever decisions.
I know you've talked to it to some length, Tshepo, but what is really the story with inflation? Remembering that we're no longer working with a wider, well, slightly wider ranging band where it could be 3 to 6%. Anywhere there would be comfortable. We're now working with a pinpoint target that says 3%. And initially, in the first few months of having this pinpoint target, it looked as if we had it in our crosshairs and we were doing all right. But now it seems we're moving away from it.
I must say, with a room for deviation.
Yes.
So it's not
1% either side.
Either side, of course. So, but of course, currently it's official. We are above the target. In fact, we're above, not only on the headline inflation, with core inflation as well, which is a measure because it strips away all the volatile items like transport and food. So you could see we are out, and it warrants an action.
Sure.
Everything points to that. So the bank has to act. The bank will definitely act unless there is a sudden improvement on inflation. The other issue that I must point out is housing and utility. We are expecting that item to spike up because we're going to include the July electricity price.
Yes, so that's local government, right?
Yes.
That cycle that happens at local government. Yeah.
So you factor in, you're likely to see further pressure on inflation. So that there are a number of risks that are lining up that actually will warrant the bank to move.
And Tshepo, at a policy level, confirm for me, my understanding is that SAB considers inflation to be enemy number one, and therefore, is it to say we can expect them to do whatever it takes to drive down or to control inflation?
No, absolutely, they will. And we know the governor, he acts. if he really has to. And unfortunately, when he acts, sometimes it's a shock to the market. And I know they try to do that. But you may see that we get a steeper fuel hike come the next MPC. So unless there is some reversal of what we are currently seeing, he's mentioned the risk, although it's not in the base at the moment, the El Nino phenomenon, that might happen. That will add more pressure to inflation. I'm trying to think of reasons that could actually cushion us, that may not warrant a rate hike.
It's hard to see that because many of the factors are external, are they not?
They are
exogenous.
Yeah, El Nino, of course, it's a natural thing. Of course, it happens here. But the key drivers of the current inflation, they are internal. Of course, we will be dealing with the second round effects, which now people demanding higher wages because everything else is going up. But I think the governor and the reserve banks, they looked at the yesterday's print. They looked at a number of food items, as I indicated, that are in deflation, and they were. That gave them a kind of a leeway or a room to say, well, it's not that bad. Yes, inflation has touched 5%. It's higher than expected, but not everything is doom and gloom. But looking forward, he also defended his decision that, we're not concerned about these short-term things that are happening now. Ours is a long-term picture, and we see inflation coming down.
All right. So in the longer term, something to hope for. Tshepo, thank you for coming through and giving us a bit of that dose of reality and a reality check on the economic front. That's SABC News Economics Editor, Tshepo Mongoai.